we're at Maple Grove for our first NHRA Divisional, and it's a mess out here. It's rained a lot up where we are in the Northeast, like for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. So everything is like it's a mud pit basically, and my dog just had a field day rolling around in the mud. So I'm gonna rename this, instead of my racing vlogs, it's gonna be Bailey's World, and we all just live in it. But they pushed us back to a 12 o'clock start. Now it's more like a 12:30 start because they're trying to get the track like clean and dry and everything. So yeah, so we're supposed to have one time run today on Friday, one on Saturday, do elimination Sunday. So we'll see how this goes. It's just a little hectic. Dad worked and he got up here like right before we were supposed to start. So we haven't started yet because they pushed it back, which is a good thing. But I don't know. It's just you get a little nervous because it's first divisional of the year at one of my home tracks. So just a little nervous that everything will be okay, but we'll keep you in the loop after our time run and let you know how everything goes. Hopefully everything's fine. Just hopefully grass dries up and I can give Bailey a bath when we get back to the hotel because she is a mess. But yeah, we'll keep you in the loop for everything. As always, thanks for following along with us. Exhibit A of what I'm talking about. We had to block off the grass because she's covered in mud.
Oh no, Brett Winworth. A red light start. The red light. 0. Heartbreaking red light start for the #1 qualifier, Wayne Morris. Fouls out. 16 thousandths of a second. Run 6:00 at 2:53. Melinda King fried the tires right at the hip, nuked them. You can hear the RPMs sky high. You guys probably 9,000 RPMs, guys. Way up. got herself a jet bracket car. 553.5, 254 for the Jersey Attitude coming up short, but what a show! Oh my goodness!
So day 2 at Maple Grove Divisional, it's like 1 o'clock. We did our run at like 8:30 this morning, so we've been sitting around for a while, but it's definitely a lot faster today than it was yesterday, and I came up 003 red in 1085, and I slowed the car down half a tenth, and it was still a rocket ship. But a lot of people were really fast too. So, I mean, because like I'm looking and it was like our DA dropped like 1,000 feet, like our barometer was like 2/10 better. So like I figured it was at least 5 faster. And then we had like a cross tailwind, which kind of made it hard to predict. But I was the second pair down the track, which I think made me a little quick too, because I was on a fresh track, which can either slow you down or speed you up. I think it sped me up. But yeah, so 2 pretty good hits. So we'll have tomorrow for first round, and it just started raining here, so now they're on hold. But well, now it's stopped and the sun's coming out because you can see the sun behind me. But so we're thinking as long as they can stick to the schedule, we'll probably definitely have first round tomorrow. Well, we will, but like they'll probably go to completion tomorrow as long as the weather holds out for the rest of the night. So we'll keep you in the loop for the rest of the race. go of the button. And I looked over and I knew I left on him by like at least a hun or two. And I looked up to see if my red light bulb came on and it didn't. So I was like, okay, like we got a good race. I made a good position. And the car goes on to stop and I just hear the cruise just dip. And it was on the stop for a long time and it just reopened so slow. And I'm like, I knew at the 3:30 the race was over. So I just pegged it and I did what I could. I mean, like we have definitely different air. So it was definitely faster today than it's been the last 2 days. And I look over, he takes me through by like over half a car, and I'm like, I was way too slow. I got the slip and the car is 11:09. And I'm like, I've run this timer before, like it's a lot of timer for my car, but I've run it before, so I was like fairly confident in the timer. That comes back with the fan belt, it kicks the fan belt and the burnout. So I guess it sucked my batteries down and it just reopened to the stop too slow because we're an electric stop. And because I mean, I felt it. Normally that stop snaps right open and it didn't snap open. So I guess with it kicking the belt, it just, we know how important amperage is to this car and keeping the batteries charged as high as we can, and that just killed us. So it sucks because I was 10, he was 21, but just got to reevaluate for upping, see if we're going to go now, because it's a little discouraging to be right there, to have the car right there all weekend, and then with the exception of yesterday with that wind, but still everybody was kind of in the same boat. And having kicked the belt, which obviously is something stupid, is something mechanical, but it hurts us for points, hurts us at one of my favorite tracks, hurts me at a track that I'm pretty good at, so just sucks. So I guess we'll figure out if we're going to try again and fix it and pull the data, look at the race facts, see how we can improve, see if it was the amperage. But yeah, thanks for following along, guys. Sorry it's not a better outcome. I wanted a better outcome. I know I'm doing my job. I know the car's pretty much doing what we're telling it to do, and I guess kicking the fan belt, there's only so much we could have done, so we'll keep you on the lift going forward. So it kicked the fan belt. It's sitting over there, and I knew the race was over because it kicked that belt, and I had no clue, but I knew that something wasn't right. So